Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a further look at the physical Super Kaioken Goku. We're going to be using him here in the red zone, the end of the Goku story, versus the blue Vegeta. Obviously he does have type advantage over this guy. I was going to do the blue Goku one, because I think out of the two fights, the blue Goku one is harder, but then of course I remembered that the Goku disables dodge, which I think is probably the biggest defensive part of this guy's kit, right? Because when it comes to the physical Super Kaioken Goku, you either want to be going all in for the offense and getting the physical and STR orbs, and then he can hit incredibly hard, but then he's only got like a 50% chance to dodge and not exactly crazy high defense. Whereas if you're going for the defensive orbs, you can end up getting okay defense in terms of the raw number, not really anything too crazy, but he obviously gets a ton of extra dodge chance, to the point where if you're actually able to pick up like 10 AGL Tech or Int Key Spheres, then he actually has a 100% chance to dodge, which obviously is very, very good. So we'll see how we get on here. I mean, we could get a decent amount of physical orbs right there anyway, AGL orbs, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll grab those for you, because then we can go ahead and get 7 orbs. So it's 6 AGL orbs, so that means he has an 80% chance to dodge here on this turn, and then we'll go ahead and grab those for you. And yeah, we'll see how we go. We're still running obviously the double Tech Vegeta team, because that is a team that gives the Kaioken Goku the full 220 lead. He is on full power, so I would be interested to try like a full power team with him on it, but I think the problem with that team, as much as I do like the physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, he's not a slot 1 unit. Obviously Super Kaioken's not really a slot 1 unit outside of those rare turns where you can get enough orbs to be safe from harm. I mean, you could take the risk with less than 10 orbs, right? Because I mean, 8 orbs is still a 90% chance to dodge, but you never know what's going to happen, right? But yeah, I thought this would be an interesting one. I mean, this Vegeta has a lot of HP, so you can see here we either dodge or we tank for double digit damage, which is fine, but we're only doing, you know, we're doing like sub 20 mil, potentially even sub 15 mil, depending on what attack what orbs you're getting for this Kaioken Goku. And this is the reason why I wanted to do another video for him, just to talk about him, using him in one of these harder events again, because I kind of like his design. I said this in the first video. I think it's weird, like a nice quirky design where it's got the 2 different types of orbs and then he does different things. It's weird because he has like random orb changing, so it's not something that you can necessarily set up and plan for in advance. Like you might be trying to set up a bunch of like tech orbs or something to get like the big defensive turn, and you want to put him in slot 1, and then he changes like all of the tech orbs to physical or something, and then obviously that kind of stops you from being able to do something like that. So I'll transform you here. Broly always super attacks in slot 1. Vegeta always super attacks in slot 1, so we know that we're fairly safe here. We can do this. So if we save all of these physical orbs here, I want to see if we can get like a big turn for Goku. Obviously it's taking a bit of a risk with Gotenks at the end, but post super he should be tanking normals perfectly fine. You just got to be careful as well, because the last time I ran this event I kind of forgot, like once Vegeta gets fully built up, and obviously Broly's had his couple of turns where he's lost that little bit of bonus damage reduction, like Broly can take a lot of damage from the slot 1 super from this Vegeta. So obviously by that point we could potentially just bust out the Gogeta instead and have him in slot 1 for the tanking with the rainbow orbs, but we'll see how we get on. At least we're actually doing some damage here, because that's the thing, he has the damage threshold like cap thing, and he has 1.2 billion HP, which is a little bit ridiculous, but it is what it is. And that's the thing, as long as you can run a team that has a dedicated slot 1 that can tank these big hits, this event isn't really that difficult, more so that it is like time consuming, right? As long as someone can always eat that hit in slot 1, you can keep going and going, because a lot of these units now, especially on these bigger teams, post super attack, we're just going to be tanking normals for double digit damage, so we don't need to worry really about that. So, alright, so again, we've got a big orb change here. We can get 9 orbs. So let's go ahead and throw him in slot 1. In fact, let's do this. We get our attack support. But yeah, this means we have a 95% chance to dodge in slot 1 with 369k defense, which is obviously not a lot. It's not like a crazy amount, so this obviously could still go horribly wrong. But there you go. There's the dodge on the super. Dodging. Oh, we dodged. We actually got hit. There you go. 95% chance to dodge, and we got hit with one of those 4 attacks. Fortunately, it was not the super, but there you go. Couple of 15 mil. I gave my guy has mostly additional and dodge. Additional, obviously, very helpful. There's all the dodges again. Statistically, surely we shouldn't take another hit. Okay, so out of all of those attacks, he only failed to dodge one of them. But still, that shows you how, like, dodge, as good as it can be sometimes, is, you know, it's not a reliable defensive mechanic as opposed to something like damage reduction, right? 95% chance to dodge, and he still didn't dodge one of those attacks. And if that one had been the super for the turn, then that would be GG. So, very interesting. But yeah, this Vegeta also changes the orb field himself. So it's going to be kind of funny for this Goku. Almost every turn is going to be somewhat random, because we're going to change the orb field and he's going to change the orb field. So, certainly going to be fun. I do want to get the Gogeta floated off here so we can get the potential turn with him and the Kaioken Goku getting buffed by him. So let's go ahead and do that. Grab those for you. Damn, no rainbow orbs. Unfortunately, yeah, the AGL, like the Goku and Vegeta, don't get a lot of extra ki if you're not getting rainbow orbs. So that's unfortunate. But Broly should still be fine at this point in slot 1. Yep, still takes double digit damage. Yep, action break. Action break away at double digit damage normal, you know. The optimal plays. Let's go. And then, yeah, we're probably not going to do damage here, are we? Oh, we still did a bit of damage. Okay, let's go. While we stack up a bit of extra defense. Obviously, Vegeta having 70% damage reduction here as well. So, tank those. And then Goku going to get a bit of extra defense. He gets 200% defense when he takes a hit. Obviously, if he's not in slot 1, he doesn't have guard or the extra dodge chance. But the extra defense he should get from these supers, and then the fact that it like triples when he gets hit, means he should be fine. Yeah, tanks for double digit damage. That's what I like to see. But yeah, look how little damage we've done, like overall in the grand scheme of things. Kind of crazy. But yeah, it's interesting how often we're getting these turns where the orbs are going that way of like the defensive orbs rather than the than being physical or STR. So this is what, 5 orbs, so this will be a 75% chance to dodge, which may well not be enough. That's why you don't really want to be like relying on the Super Kaioken Goku to be a slot 1 unit. But we dodge the super, there we go, and then we get our attack off, only 11 million. I mean, that's the funny thing about like just RNG and like dodge in general, I guess, for units as their defensive mechanic, is like it's going to be very possible that we just get all the way through this event and we get enough orbs each time, or just get lucky enough with the RNG that Goku is dodging every single attack in slot 1. And this is one of the things I was talking about in the showcase for him, right? Is that that's what these teams need now. And I know he's random because of the RNG, but like these teams need characters that you can put in slot 1 and not get killed by super attacks. And sometimes, you know, RNG or not, some of these teams just don't have a unit like that, right? Like, for example, Gotenks is always a risk to put in slot 1, because if he does get the extra 777% defense proc from getting hit with a super, he can still tank a lot of these, like most of the big boss super attacks from the 10th anniversary content. But if he doesn't get it, then he dies. And his chance is only a 50-50 of whether he gets it or not. Whereas Goku, depending on how many orbs you're getting of those different colours, then obviously he has a much higher chance that he's potentially going to be able to just dodge, right? So I think, is Beast going to be okay here? How many turns has he been? He's been in battle 6 turns. So yeah, he has lost his extra 40% damage reduction now. Yeah, let's just go ahead and use this. We're probably not going to necessarily play it all the way through the fight just because of how much ridiculous amount of HP this guy has. So we'll go ahead and do this, and we'll do that. Connect up a bunch of those orbs in the middle. I mean, Vegeta's going to change everything up anyway, so there's no point really trying to plan ahead with the orbs too much. Yeah, see, 35k, and that's on the active skill turn. Alright. He's still not fully built up yet either, the Vegeta. He's got 5% attack up with each attack received up to 300%. So he has to get hit, what, like 50... 56? Is it 56 times? No. $60 times. Yeah. I had a complete and utter brain fail for a second there. He has to be hit 60 times to be fully built up. So, depending on how many additionals and stuff characters are getting, it does take quite a lot of turns to get him all the way built up. But once he is, then he starts hitting, like, incredibly hard. Because he only does 1.1 million damage with his super, but then he's getting a 300% attack raise. I swear he hits harder than that though, because that would only be 4.4 million when he's fully built up. I'm sure I've seen him hit harder than that before, but because yeah, he doesn't lower defense, and he doesn't raise his own attack, so it should just be the 4.4 million, but not too sure. That's the problem with this Kaioken Goku though, like I say, is you don't get a choice of how you're going to play him out in the turn. Because like the random orb changing, like I want to see a turn where we get a bunch of like STR or physical orbs to see how well he would tank in that scenario, which I guess we kind of can here now. So let's go ahead and the problem is, if we create a bunch of rainbow orbs of Gogeta, is it going to get rid of the STR or physical orbs? That'll be so annoying. Let's see what happens. So transform you, and then active skill. Which orbs is he going to change? Okay, I think we're good. Because if I do that and it drops down all the STR orbs. So if we do that, and then we can get, yeah, so in total that the actual STR, 7 STR orbs. So we'll go ahead and do that. 7 STR orbs plus the actual buff from Gogeta's active skill. And let's see, because I mean 7 orbs is not a lot. When it comes to like a nuking style unit, 7 orbs is kind of like an average. Especially with orb changing and stuff, like when we think about like Buhan or Tech Cell, that's the kind of thing we would expect to see on like a regular basis from them, like every turn. So for this Kaioken Goku to really be hitting like crazy numbers, we want to be getting sort of like 10 plus of these orbs, but obviously the Gogeta buff is going to go a pretty long way here as well. Bearing in mind that we are on full HP, so he's only going to get the 100% on super instead of the 150 if we were at 80% or less. But the Gogeta active skill buff should go a pretty long way here in terms of doing some big damage. So, and then the most important thing is seeing how well he's then going to tank the follow-up normals, because he's in offense mode now with the SDR orbs. He's got type advantage at least, but let's see what we're looking like here. So in terms of his actual super attack, attack stat wise, we are going to be looking at 25.8, which I mean is okay. Obviously it's not like terrible, and the STR or physical orbs means he gets a guaranteed 2 additional supers. So then he jumps up to 29, and then he's going to be at like 30 something. So pretty good. Obviously the orbs also give him crit chance, so it's got a pretty good chance to crit on each of these. And then you don't get the hidden potential, unfortunately. But oof, yeah. See, 100k from a normal with type advantage as well. That's a little bit of a yikes. Because that's the thing. If there was like going up against tough int bosses in the meta, if he was able to like eat their attacks after doing his big like offense based turns, then I think he would definitely have a lot of use in those kind of events. But that does make that a little bit more on the scary side, I would say. Realistically, in order to win here now, we just need to go all out with the fusions if we do actually want to win the event. So go ahead and do that. Get the active skill with Gotenks. See how quickly we can melt down this guy's HP bar. Now that obviously we know how much HP this guy has, but we know how crazy Vegeta can go in terms of melting away the boss's HP bars. So let's go ahead and do that and see how we get on. Obviously we eat the super for double digit damage. We do get attack lowered, but then obviously every hit we take, we are getting extra attack. All of the counters are going to be crits. We're at 3.7 like pre-super. And then we get our super attacks off 17 mil. Because yeah, Vegeta's not about doing the big attack stats himself in terms of his super. He's about the all the follow-up counters. Still very interesting that they made this, like, I guess because he has so many animations already, maybe that's why they chose to do that, but the fact that he only has the ultra super, so all of the additionals are the ultra super, it's the only super attack you can get with him. I think I do kind of like that though. Like we always used to think about back in the day is like, will we ever see an LR that has a thing in their passive that is like any additional supers will be their ultra super instead of their 12 key? And I guess the sort of way they've got around that is just make an LR that doesn't actually have a 12 key super attack. He just has the ultra super. But yeah, obviously Vegeta here now doing a ton of damage with these counters, taking chunks out of the Vegeta health bar. That's what we like to see. And then of course Gotenks is going to have guaranteed crits, get the additional because we've got the full key. Beast won't be looking too hot in slot 3 because obviously not being hit first or anything, not getting his buff, he's not going to be looking particularly crazy. We have at least hit the Vegeta enough times though. As you can see, the attack up icon is no longer appearing. So yeah, 12 million for Beast. It's one of the reasons why I really wanted to get in a dupe for Beast Gohan, because unless he gets hit first, he can't get an additional. And being an STR unit, he has level 5 crit instead of level 5 additional if you've only got him at 55%. So yeah, Vegeta up to, is this going to be 10 mil on the next one? Yeah, over 10 million attack stat counters now. So big chunks of damage. Okay, yeah, so the orbs on this turn really not very good. But we can get 4 STR, 3 physical, yeah, so not really a good turn here for the Kaioken Goku. He's getting hit 3 times. Should be fine in terms of him being able to tank the hits though. Yeah, Gogeta just tanks like an absolute beast.
Time to get serious.
I'm just getting those rainbow orbs. Now, the interesting thing about this is obviously Kaioken Goku lowers your HP with each of his super attacks, but then we're getting the Dokkan attack this turn with Gogeta, so Goku's going to lower our HP by at least 15% because he's going to do at least 3 super attacks here. Then he's going to get hit like 3 times, which we already know he's going to take a bit of damage from that. But then we're going to hit, as long as we survive the turn, then we just heal back to full, basically, thanks to the Dokkan attack from Gogeta. So we should still be looking pretty good here. I mean, it's one of those things where this Goku, I think, is going to end up being like, he's runnable on some of these teams for some of the tougher events, but I guess the issue with him, and the reason why a lot of people maybe either are not going to like him or just potentially not going to use him, is he's runnable on the team, but he's not like, you know, he's not the star of the show. He's not providing like a crazy amount to the team. His potential to be that slot 1 guy can be quite helpful, but I mean, you can see here 13 million attacks out. This is when he's in the attack mode, because we got the physical. Now, obviously, we didn't get good luck with the orb changing, so we barely got any orbs. So you guys kind of, we can't really judge a Nuka type character on a turn where, you know, they picked up like 4 orbs. But that's the kind of, that can be a big problem with him in a certain situation, is like you're sacrificing defense so that you can have this extra attack power, and then, you know, in the worst case scenario where you don't get a lot of orbs, you're not really even getting that much attack power. So you've sacrificed defense and you've not really gotten a great like trade-off in the process, kind of thing. But either way, Broly post super should still be fine here, especially against normals. I mean, we are going to win the event, right, at the very least, because we've got the other Vegeta can just come out on this turn. So I think we'll probably just leave it off here, because realistically all we're really going to do here is we're going to fuse with the other Vegeta. Then we've got the active skill turn, we've got 2 Vegetos and a Gotenks. Like, it's going to be GG here, right? Because we'll use the active skill for this Vegeta straight away. That's going to do a chunk of damage, and then all the counters are going to be crits. Gotenks is going to get crits. Like, I don't think we're going to see this Vegeta survive for another turn. Maybe he will, but let me know what you guys think of physical Kaioken Goku. Like I say, I think he's definitely very interesting. I kind of like him just because he's got this interesting design. I definitely wouldn't say like he's one of the best EZA TURs. I think that's a big difference that we have to clarify. Like, I think he's kind of cool. I kind of like his design, but I don't think he's necessarily like one of the best EZAs. I think he's just a kind of fun designed unit. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Where have you tried him out? What teams have you used him on? What are your thoughts on physical Super Kaioken Goku? Let me know down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.